In this video, I will demonstrate how to use the additional type tools in Adobe Illustrator. You can follow along with me and first create a new document, print is fine, landscape with one artboard, and click Create. I've already created a template to demonstrate, so your practice with these tools doesn't need to look like mine. For some of these tools, you'll need paths, and I use the shape of a star, but note that you may want to use the direct selection tool to add a stroke to your shapes. In the toolbar, the fourth icon down in the left column is the type tool. Click and hold to bring up this list. I went over the type tool in a previous video. This time we'll look over the other type tools that are available. Start with the area type tool, and you'll want a shape or a closed path. You don't click inside the area of the shape. Instead, click on the path itself. You'll see it say path next to your cursor. When you click, it will fill the area inside the shape with the lorem ipsum filler text. Notice that in your control panel, you can still format this text with paragraph styles, alignment, and such. I've actually typed out the instructions for this tool, so I'm going to replace this filler text so you can see what it would actually look like. Next, we've got the Type on a Path tool. Your path doesn't have to be closed for this tool, but I'll use the star again for continuity. And again, click on the path, and this time the text will follow it. If you'd like to move the text around the path, switch to your direct selection tool. These lines with the boxes indicate the start and end of your text. When you get this line with an arrow next to your cursor, you can click and drag the start of your text and move it along the path. Remember, a red plus sign lets you know that there's an overflow of text, so move the end point to reveal that overflow. My shape has a stroke, but for this tool, I like removing the stroke so that the text follows the path on its own. Next, I drew this star using the pencil tool, but I want to show you that you can also use the Type on a Path tool for paths that are drawn with pencils, pens, brushes, other tools in Illustrator. The vertical type tool is next, and this tool doesn't need a path to start with. Just click and add your text, and you'll see it line up vertically. This tool can also follow a path though, like this brush stroke. But notice that it doesn't line up with the top of the brush stroke. So I'll use the direct selection tool to find the line with the box and then move the starting point up. Just like the area type tool, the vertical area type tool needs a closed path. But this time when you click on the path, you'll see that the text is aligned vertically, but for some reason it reads from right to left, which may or may not be helpful for your project. Also, I noticed when I pasted in my text, it removed the stroke around the shape. Sometimes this happens, so just use the direct selection tool to add it back in. Just like the Type on the Path tool, the vertical Type on a Path tool doesn't have to be a closed path. But because letters like I and L line up with the path vertically, removing the stroke for this tool will make it much easier to read. The last tool we're going to look at is the Touch Type tool. But for this tool, you actually want to have text first. So use the Type tool to write something out, and then switch over to the Touch Type tool. Now you can manipulate individual letters within words or sentences, such as making one wider, or you can rotate your letters to the right or to the left. You can also move individual letters. And notice as doing so, the rest of the letters in the word and sentence have adjusted themselves accordingly. Finally, let's save your notes. Go to File, Save As, and I'll save it to my Creative Cloud file in a folder that I've made for this class. I've saved mine as my first name, last initial, underscore, Unit 03.2, Additional Type Tools. Click Save and OK. And that is how you use the additional type tools in Adobe Illustrator.